So this is gonna be a quick video. All right. I just wanted to share kind of what I think is going to happen in terms of the beauty standards. Because you see the beauty standards shift, right? They always shift. So you sometimes pencil thin, big tit blondes. That's all the rage, right? Then you have fucking say like a mid-size brunettes become the next big thing, right? So there's always a style that's big in, it permeates Hollywood. It's in, the music industry, modeling, right? So all of the the women at that time that are at the top, they all will tend to look a certain way. Well, something that I'm noticing now is the Kim Kardashian, Kylie Jenner. Um, I don't really keep up with people. Those are just two that I'm familiar with because they're so wildly popular and famous that have that look, right? So you have the big BBL, right? And the huge fat lips. And you have, for a long time, you had the buckle fat removal, right? So you have those like crackhead jaws, or cheekbones, rather. Um, that look, if you notice, is now being taken over by the men who are getting surgeries to look like women, right? So for me now, when I see women that look like that, I have to wonder, is this a legitimate woman or is this a man that's had these surgeries? Because at the end of the day, you don't look like a woman anymore when you have all these extensive surgeries, right? You look like an alien creature. You don't look like a normal woman. You can tell that it's fake, but you can't tell if it's a woman with all this cosmetic surgery that looks like an alien, or is it a man who looks like an alien, but he's actually trying to look like a woman, right? So you can't tell anymore. And I think that is going to lead to a hard pivot for women. I think that the extensive amounts of surgery that are wildly common right now. I have seen normal women out in the street with the big, fat, fake lips, the fillers and the just ridiculous chest and butt implants. It's not my thing. I don't like it. But now when I see them, I don't just go, "Oh, that's a chick that's had a lot of surgery and she probably has some kind of, uh, problem, like an addiction to the surgeries." Because once they get to a certain extent, it's an addiction, you know? So now I go, is that an actual chick or is that a dude trying to look like a chick? And I think that the women who are chasing that, you know, that old beauty standard are going to be deterred from continuing down that path. And I think the next generation of women are going to be less likely to go down that same path because now even guys that are attracted to that are going to be wondering, hey, is this a chick that's got a lot of fake shit or is this a dude? And the only way you're ever going to know is by asking, and even then, you're relying on them being truthful to you. So, do I, you know, do I think that there will be some people that lie about it? Absolutely. But, you know, every real woman that has those surgeries is going to take extreme offense to it. And when they're constantly asked over and over that question, then they're going to start having problems with the surgeries. And a lot of those extreme surgeries and just nonstop habitual surgeries comes down to having, a form of body dysmorphia, right? So they don't view themselves as the way they actually are. So I think that will actually help with that. I do. I truly think that will help with that because they're constantly being questioned whether or not they're actually women or dudes, then yeah, I think that that's going to start having an impact on their self image. And I think that's going to dissuade the women who have yet to get those surgeries, right? Because they're going to go, oh, you know, Susie and Tiffany and Brittany all had these, and these guys don't know if they're actually women or not, and it causes hesitation. And, they might not be getting approached as much anymore because of it. Is, a guy like me, I already don't like it, but if I did like that, I would start hesitating to approach women like that. I'm married, so I don't have to do that anymore. Thank God. I'm glad I'm not dealing with the current dating market, man. But yeah, that's that. If I was in the market and I did like the fake looking chicks, I would start being a lot more hesitant. I would want to only approach women that I have a mutual friend with who can vouch for her always being a woman. So that's what I think is going to happen with the beauty standard in America, and ultimately, it influences globally. I think we're going to start seeing a harder left turn away from the BBLs and the lip fillers. I know we already started seeing, you know, within media trending that way, that the more natural looking women are starting to come back into style. And I think this is going to just accelerate that course. I think it's overnight. I think those women are going to lose a lot of the appeal that they had, and they'll start losing a lot more of the fan base when we're talking about, like Instagram girls that are trying to be models and stuff that look like that. I think they're going to start losing a lot of that fan base because you have straight men that are now have to come into question, is this a biological woman? So that's what I think. That's how I see it because to me, they look the same now. That you have these dudes getting crazy amounts of plastic surgery, and they're getting the exact same types of plastic surgery that the chicks are getting. So, like I said, at the end of the day, you look like the same mutant creature. It's unnatural. You don't look like a natural, beautiful woman with those features that you're trying to get. Everyone can tell they're fake. It Everything looks fake. It is not hard to tell. So I think that a lot more people are going to start seeing it the way that I see it. Like, that could be a chick with a surgery addiction, or it could be a dude who thinks he's a chick. Who knows? So that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Just a thought that popped in my head while I saw a few videos. I legitimately did not know if it was a chick or a dude. And like I said, either way, I think they don't look like normal humans. So yeah, that's about it for this video. All right, later.